My name is Jason Hammer, and thank God Indiana doesn't play today. We don't have to talk about them, we don't have to watch them, we don't have to bet on them, but we will bet on a lot of things today right here on All Indiana Bets.
Hey, I am Scott Long, and I am excited to be here. We're going to see all about it. Hammer and I are on fire for 1 week. Let's make it 2 right here, right now.
This is All Indiana Bets, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. We are all Caesars.
Good morning, my fellow degenerates. Lend us your ear, lend us your cash. We are in this thing together. We are bringing down the house today together on All Indiana Bets. That is Scott Long. I'm Jason Hammer. And Scott, as I said earlier, thank God we don't have to talk about Indiana today.
Sadly, that is the case. Tomorrow will be a lot of fun to talk about the Colts. Just so you know, it's our Halloween show. There'll be some special guests. So put that one on your calendar for noon tomorrow. Today, we're going to be talking college football, making these games the way college football should be exciting through gambling.
Yes.
And drinking.
We don't just have college football today, though.
Oh.
We've got the NBA. We've got Major League Baseball. But let's be honest, it's all about college football. And let's get into the biggest local game of the day, Notre Dame.
This is a good game.
I like this game a lot. Notre Dame on the road taking on a Syracuse squad that beat Purdue earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But they're coming off of a very tough loss last week. On the road, the Irish, number 16 at Syracuse today. Scott Long, what do you got?
This was a really close game for me to actually be a pick, an official pick. I like Notre Dame in this spot. I feel like Syracuse, as you said, comes off this big Clemson game. I think they're going to be a little flat. Notre Dame has one great side of the ball. It's called their defense. I think in this circumstance, you're looking at a lot of 4 and 5 stars at Notre Dame. The Cuse does not have that. I think as the season is finally getting longer in, there's a lot of injuries building up in Syracuse. I like Notre Dame today. That's not a big number at all.
So much in college football, it's about when you play somebody.
Yeah.
Not necessarily where, but when. So if you're Notre Dame, you're coming into a good spot here. Syracuse had a tough game, a soul-crushing type of game last week. I know Notre Dame's a brand, and Notre Dame is always going to be the biggest game on most people's schedule, but this year hasn't been that way. But when Notre Dame has been counted out, that's when they played pretty well. When you count on them to do something is when they crap the bed. So I'm with you. I kind of like Notre Dame in this spot today.
I've been fading them all year. You know that I was not a fan of bringing in a coach who's never had any head coaching responsibilities at Notre Dame. That job is so big. But in this circumstance, it's all about timing. I like Notre Dame in this circumstance.
And plus, I'm so tired of hearing all these Syracuse broadcasting grads all the time. You know what? You want a hot take? Ball State's broadcasting school greater than Syracuse. Yeah, AC, I said that.
Wow, he called out Anthony Calhoun. I'm surprised that Sheridan just spontaneously combust. It's been great working with you. I don't think you'll be here next week.
I'm not going to be here the rest of the show. I've been fired.
All right, yes, it's just me.
Speaking of fire, see what I did there? How about Scott Long, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
4-1 last week. Look at that. Soak that in, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of soaking
4-1.
in, what was my one loss? I had a bet with Hammer. This gets very exciting. I was up 21 points in that game. First string quarterback for Kansas State gets hurt. But the second string is playing great. He gets hurt. No more points. Hammer wins that bad beat of a bet for me. And I am going to be shirtless in a segment coming later. But hang on at least till then. You're welcome, America.
They don't make Lunazol strong enough for me to be able to tolerate what's coming up later in the show.
Yes.
Well, you're rolling. Give us a pick, Scott.
Oh, I know people are shocked. Wait a minute. What's going on? It's America's punchline, the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Imagine that, Scott doing an Iowa game.
And as you might, if there's a little burst, I am 3-1 on picking Iowa games this year. On the side, this is about what has happened with Iowa recently. Well, let's go over their losses. They lost to number 17 Illinois. They lost to a top 10 Michigan team. Many people think is 4th, 5th in the country, and they lost at Ohio State. This is the worst team in least the Big Ten, maybe of any of the major 5 conference schools, Northwestern. I like Iowa in this situation only because of who they're playing. Their defense will shut them down, probably score 2 touchdowns. Iowa scored in the first 3 minutes against Ohio State from their defense. So take the Hawkeyes. You have to know what spot you're going to play them. Watch me next week. I'll be playing probably Purdue when they play Iowa.
6 safeties and you cover in that game. If my Beech Grove High School education is correct, 6 safeties and you're home free.
Yeah, that's how, and Northwestern is so bad.
So I am going to look at what could be the biggest game of the day today. Oh, look at that, 7-3 last couple of weeks. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid.
Hammer, you've had a very good year this year.
Thank you. And you know who else has had a very good year? Ohio State.
No.
But have they been tested? That's the million-dollar question. Today they're going to get a test. They're going into Happy Valley, and Penn State matches up well against Ohio State. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Didn't we just see Penn State get ran out of the big house up at Michigan? Yes, you did. But these teams match up well. The strengths against the strengths here tell me that 15.5 might be a lot of points. Penn State's going to be rocking, Happy Valley's going to be rocking, and Penn State's secondary might be the best in college football. So Ohio State's going to want to throw the ball. With those receivers, they're going to want to throw the ball. Penn State's got a good secondary. Michigan ran the ball down their throat. I don't think Ohio State's going to be able to do that. So while I think the Buckeyes win this game, I like Penn State with 15.5. Even if the Buckeyes get up by 3 touchdowns, you put yourself kind of in that backdoor cover territory here. So give me the Nittany Lions at 15.5 at home in Happy Valley. Now, if you want to get a head start on all of these picks that we're making today, if you've seen the first couple of minutes of this show and you said, this sucks, I don't want to watch any more of this, I just want their picks, look right above Scott Longhead.
What is that by my head?
That is called a QR code, my friend.
Oh.
If you scan that, not only will you get all of our picks, you might see Scott Long shirtless. I'm not sure. That's coming up later on in the show.
I hope there's coupons you can get too.
But I mentioned it earlier. We got a lot of stuff going on here today. NBA season's underway. The Pacers are underway. So we're going to do a feeling it or fading it edition of the Indiana Pacers. So that's coming up next. We got a lot of football games to pick. Don't go anywhere. Grab a beer, maybe grab 5. Come on back. It's all Indiana bets.
All Indiana Bets is presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook, the only sports betting app you need.
So it is time to play America's fastest growing game sensation, feeling it or fading it.
And you said it was about the Pacers?
Correct.
I bet people right now are thinking there's going to be a lot of fades with the Pacers. Seems like the franchise is fading the season. You got the questions, I got the answers, Hammer.
All right, so let's focus on some individual things here.
Yeah.
Pacers are currently the favorites to finish with the worst record in the NBA this year at plus 240. Are you feeling that, Scott, or fading it? Pacers' worst record in the NBA.
I'm fading them fading that much. I think that there's other NBA franchises that have historically proven that they know how to lose. The Pacers are a franchise that knows how to win 25 to 50 games. That's what the Pacers do. You're not going to be in that top 2 or 3 in the lottery. So I would fade that. I don't know where you feel on that.
I'm with you. I've seen this team play, and there are some good individual pieces, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But there are some bad teams around the league. Orlando stinks. Oklahoma City stinks. We disagree on Sacramento a little bit. I'm not high on Sacramento, and they play in a hard Western Conference. So even if you have the worst record in the league, the lottery proves that you're not guaranteed to get that number one pick.
Right.
So I'm fading that as well. All right, let's focus on one of the players that has a lot of Pacer fans excited, Benedict Mathurin. Plus 650 for him to win NBA Rookie of the Year. 650, Scott, good juice.
I'm going right now to my Caesars app to bet that one. That is amazing. What is the number? 650. There's like 3 or 4 players that are involved. I know Banchero in Orlando, the number 1 pick, who has played like the number 1 pick. All it takes is, well, look at Cunningham last year. He gets hurt for a part of the season, and no longer can he be the front runner. I love that one. I mean, 650 plus 650. That's $1. 650. That's $10. You get what I'm saying? Do it.
It's worth the bet here,
Yeah.
and you're right. If Banchero sprains a knee,
Right.
if he gets injured, he's out of the mix here, and you know Mathurin's going to get opportunities. Look at the minutes he's playing right now. He's coming off the bench right now. I don't know how long that's going to last, but he's still getting a ton of minutes and opportunities. I like that at 650.
Yeah,
All
think
right.
about a $10 bet right now. You get to play with that the rest of the season and know I can make $65 on that.
Last one here, Tyrese Halliburton, point guard of your Indiana Pacers, plus 300 to lead the NBA in assists this year, Scott.
I'm going
Giving
to
it a
think
fake.
about that a minute. Why don't you tell me? I'm not quite sure. You tell me what you think on that one.
I am going to fade this one because when you look at the guys that have better odds above Halliburton,
Right.
they're on playoff teams. Halliburton is not on a playoff team. And after the trade deadline, when Buddy Hield is probably on the Lakers
Right.
or somewhere else, who's he going to kick it to on those corners that can hit an open shot and help him with those assist numbers? I don't know if you're going to get there. I love Halliburton, but he's not going to lead the league in assists. Fade that.
You know what? I'm going to feel that just because I hear what you're saying, but they don't have another point guard. They're not going to ever tank, well, they're tanking, but there's not going to be a time where they're taking things off at the end of the year or they're playing people 15 or 20 minutes. That dude's playing probably 35, 40 minutes every game. So just through the ability to be out on the floor and have the ball in his hands, I like that one.
All right, we know why you came here. You want more football. You want more college football.
Right.
Scott, give the people what they want.
So there are certain trends that you just have to play. And last week I did it with Cal. Cal is the best underdog of any major conference college football team, and it's because of Justin Wilcox. He knows, he's kind of like Mike Tomlin, where he gets teams pumped up when they are dogs, but when they're favorites, they don't handle that well. Well, of course, they're going to be a dog. Oregon's coming off a huge win against UCLA, but wow, where's the game and all this and being flat? That's just too many points. California can play some defense. Wilcox is a really good coach, stuck in a bad situation. He's in a place, Berkeley, that doesn't care about football. Let him escape. Put him in a good situation. You'll see again today. He'll keep the game close. Oregon will have to win in the fourth quarter.
Do you know anybody that pronounces it Oregon? We had this conversation before the show. Oregon. Does anybody say that, or is that just something that I've heard once or twice in my life?
I think on NPR.
Yeah, because I listen to a lot of that. Hey, I got a pick for you here. Let's talk about West Virginia. I love this game today. TCU. They were a big winner for me last week. Because of TCU, this guy next to me has to do a segment later on. No shirt with the blazer because we're classy. But today, this comes to an end. This is like the 5th straight game where TCU has a tough matchup here. Morgantown's a tough place to go. They're not as good as they used to be, but over a touchdown at home on a tired, emotionally drained TCU squad. I would sing Country Roads right here, but our producer Peter makes so much money that we can't afford the ASCAP fee.
Yep.
So give me the Mountaineers plus 7.5 today. I think it's close, and I want the team getting the points and at home.
Now, what does ASCAP mean?
So
I'm
that's
not
the
a radio.
fee you have to pay for the use of songs, like a royalty fee kind of. And it's really not that expensive, but Peter makes so much money that we can't afford.
I got to tell you, I think a lot of the viewers thought you just called Peter an ASCAP, and I don't know what that means. I think that's an actual thing you have to pay for, right?
I said what I said. Hey, coming up next, we have got the long shot. We've got the degenerate special, and we're going to go to the bar. So
Yes!
things are about to get busy.
Victories!
Business is about to pick up right here on All Indiana Bets.
The Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
And nobody gives the people what they want. Like Scott Long and the long shot. Look at these cups.
Beautiful.
Look at this.
Elijah Craig. They were hiding them from us, Hammer.
Right. Let me get this out there because this is what the kids call added value.
Oh, it's so good.
Hey, look at that. Great sponsors here on the Hammer and Nigel show. And you are presented for the people, Scott.
I am. I'm Nigel now. Who knew? I feel very wrong about that. But let's talk about the long shot. And the long shot this week is a juicy one. I am loving this spot. People are like, Texas A&M, have you been paying attention? They pay all their players, but they don't play. There's a lot of things at work here, and so much of it is Mississippi played nobody early in the year. And now they're getting exploited. Last year, Mississippi was a very good team, but they lost some NFL players. Texas A&M still got all those 5 stars there. They're all sitting there. They're getting more opportunities to play because I guess the veteran players that were in front of them just weren't very good. I know the locker room probably isn't perfect there in Aggie land. I know Jimbo is not the... I wouldn't say he's quite the coach on the offensive side is what's going on Mississippi, but all the same, I like the talent, I like the spot. People are going to be dug in. They got to win a game here in College Station, so go with Texas A&M.
Rooting against Lane Kiffin. You talked me into it. You pulled my arm.
Can you explain
into rooting
why
against Lane Kiffin.
you do not like Lane Kiffin?
Because he did Tennessee dirty.
He did.
He was given the keys to a great program, and after 1 year, that weasel went out west.
No, you meant it left.
It went out left and left the program.
No, we're
in
not
shambles.
doing the radio show right now, right?
Well, that's true because the radio show actually has people watching it. All right, let's get into the degenerate
It's a radio show, so I don't know how they're watching it. But
We
go
stream
ahead.
it. We stream it every day.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. This is a game that nobody cares about. Nobody wants to watch.
No.
But the money you win on this game is the same money you would win if you were betting on Ohio State and Penn State today. So let's talk a little bit about Middle Tennessee and UTEP.
Do we have to?
Low number here.
Oh.
52? Come on, when these offensive juggernauts get together, only fireworks happen, only explosions happen. Okay, now I'm making stuff up. But really, this number is too low. Middle Tennessee State can score. And if you get a little help from UTEP here, your toes are tapping. I think this is going to be one of those close games where it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. And usually, close games are the recipe to hit the over because nobody's resting, nobody's getting taken out of the game. You're getting the best shot. So let's ride the lightning. We're going over 52, Middle Tennessee and UTEP, and that is your degenerate special. All right.
How do people watch that game? Do you know? Have you looked? All right, because you've got to be interested in it.
Sure. So I think ESPN has one of those plus packages.
Sure.
If you buy that, you can do it, or just scan it on your phone. Try to find a scan on
You
your
don't
phone.
want to watch that game. Just scan it.
No. Best bets. Our best bets of the day coming up. These are the ones we feel the absolute best about. And we're going to give you those picks when we come back on All Indiana Bets.
The Best Bet is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
All right, we've had a lot of fun here today, but now it's time to get down to business.
Really?
Our camera operators, Lucy and Lakeisha, they're
awesome.
begging you, Scott, please make us money. We want to go out to fancy dinners tonight. We want to buy new wardrobes.
Right.
Please give us a winner.
Show the team that I'm. Is that a winner?
This is the game?
I
This
know.
is it?
It is it. I usually put my glasses on when I know they're going to win. Here we go. 'Cause
Uh-oh, here we go.
in this circumstance, I put it on just to make sure that I actually picked this. Nebraska? Are you kidding me? What's going on? It is called the Big Ten West. And if you don't know about the Big Ten West, nobody scores a lot of points. Actually, the best scoring team in the Big Ten West is Nebraska. Defensively, Illinois will shut down a lot of that. But when it comes down to it, I just don't think Illinois can score enough points that they're ever more than a touchdown favorite on almost anybody, maybe outside of Northwestern. Nebraska is still a talented team. They got rid of Frost. They're a better coach team. You know, in the fourth quarter, they actually got a chance to not blow it. Look, I am a Bielema big fan, always have been. And I really think they'll win the game. This is not a money line play like what I do with the NFL games. But Nebraska will keep it close like they usually do. Take the +7.5 and go to your local Texas Roadhouse on me.
So I have a pick called the Degenerate Special.
Yes.
But you're making us watch Iowa and Nebraska today, Scott.
No, I never said watch. Last week when I took Iowa in the first half, I told you to go mow your grass after halftime because I knew what was going to happen, but it won. Go
Rake
ahead.
some leaves, do whatever you have to do, make the bet, then just go away for a while. All right, here's a game that I think people actually want to watch.
Yeah.
Kentucky going into Tennessee. This is going to be a good one tonight. And the line is around 12. Kentucky can play. Kentucky's got probably the best NFL-style quarterback in the nation. Not the best college quarterback, but the best pro prospect. And this is a spot to catch Tennessee. Guess who they got next week? Georgia.
Yeah.
Another game of the century that Tennessee has to go on the road for. So Tennessee has a tendency to let teams back in. Look at the Alabama game. But you know what Tennessee does? They start incredibly well. Look what happened at every game this year. Tennessee gets out to a good start, and then things kind of even out in the second half. So here's what we're going to do today. I like Tennessee in the first half. We're going to lay basically a touchdown here. -7 in the first half against Kentucky. This is going to be a good game. It's a Halloween theme in Knoxville. The all-black uniforms, the all-black helmet. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. It's a night game at Neyland Stadium. But Tennessee's going to get out to a good start. They're going to feel that energy, lay the 7 in the first half. But, man, I think this is going to be a good finish. So let's say that you had a little too much fun over the weekend. Bank account, it's on fumes. So here's how you can make over $50 by just spending $5. We call this balling on a budget.
Yes.
It's a parlay bet. Now, I'm not a parlay guy. I think they're sucker bets. Every professional has told me that's not what you want to do, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and this is how we're going to do it today. We've got a little bit of everything in this. So let's start with some college football here. We've got Arkansas at Auburn under 60.5. Arkansas is going to score some points. I'm not confident in Auburn at all. World Series. How about the Phillies last night? Anybody stay up to watch that? Astros aren't losing 2 in a row at home. Take the Astros on the money line. It's not that bad of a bet. You'd think the juice would be bad. It's not bad at all. Speaking of the money line, let's go to the NBA. The Pacers on the road taking on the Nets tonight. And I just don't think the Pacers are winning 2 in a row. Pacers won last night. They're going on the road again. Take the Nets on the money line.
Ooh, that was really a high-level bet there. What is that, +220 or something?
Not as bad as you think. Have you seen the Nets this year?
Yeah,
Name recognition doesn't mean you're good. The Heat, -3.5 at Scott's Sacramento Kings. And hockey. I think this is the first time we've ever made a hockey bet on this show. The Panthers money line against the Senators, 5 games, $5. Make that bet. You turn it into about $55. That's the way we get down when you ball on a budget. So the Cashman.
Now, before we get to that, I want to figure out how you come up with a hockey bet. Now, how did you do that?
Because there's no off switch on this genius panel, Scott. There isn't. Everything I do is successful.
Do you have one of those little tables where you spin the guys? It's almost like foosball, but they got the little hockey players. That was fun. Maybe we'll do that for next week. Let's bring it on. Oh, you got to read the teas. Okay, it's Cashman. There's my guy. I bet he's got 3 hockey picks right now.
Well, you've hijacked the segment. Just go ahead and tell us what's next, Scott. You've cut me off like 3 times.
It's the Cashman. I'll be over there by the screen. He and I bring
all
magic.
Indiana Bets is next. How do you like it when somebody cuts you off? The Cashman, next.
The wise guy winner, Alan Cashman. There he is. Oh my gosh, he's got his Deer Creek sign behind him. There's the laboratory that he picks all the picks, throws those picks in a microwave, and boom, 30 seconds later. What is it this week, Alan Cashman?
Thanks, Scott. We're going to go with Old Dominion +4.
Of course. Now stop a minute. This is not the degenerate segment here, but of course, my guy didn't even know Old Dominion had a football team until 2 years ago, but you probably watched their practices with like binoculars. This is the kind of insight that the genius named Alan Cashman. Finish off your segment. I cut you off.
Okay. We saw how Old Dominion handled Coastal Carolina a couple weeks ago on the road. They're playing Georgia State today, who gives up 4.8 yards per carry on defense. Georgia State defense also allowed 33 or more points in 6 of their 7 games this year. So Old Dominion's 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games. I will take Old Dominion today +4 at Georgia State.
There we go. I know everyone's excited about that game. What's your next game? Cashman.
Probably another game no one wants to watch, but we're going to go with UConn +8 today, hosting Boston College. Boston College 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 overall. They've really got a beaten up offensive line right now. They're not protecting the quarterback, and they don't run the ball very well, only 2.9 yards per carry. UConn, they got a couple of halfbacks that average over 6 yards per carry. They've stayed in games and even beaten some lower level to bad teams. I don't think Boston College is very good, so I'm going to back UConn +8 at home today.
I like that one. I like what Jim Mora Jr. has done with UConn. He's kind of revived the program already. Now, Alan, you have every sport possible. Do you do hockey?
Do a little bit of hockey.
Look at this guy.
Yep.
Do you do ping pong from Russia?
Haven't done that yet.
Not yet, but tell people on how they get a hold of the Cashman to fill your pockets with the green.
Sure. Go to my website, thecashmanwins.com. You can join for 1 year, $55 by 4 p.m. on Sunday. If the Colts win on Sunday, I'll upgrade that 1 year membership to a 2 year membership for free, and that's at thecashmanwins.com.
Once again, you heard everything.
I've bet on Russian ping pong before. That pandemic was a dark time for sports bettors, man. Staying up late, following on your phone Russian ping pong. I've been there. All right, coming up next, we got another pick, and somebody has to pay off a debt. Scott lost a bet last week, so he will do a segment without a shirt on. Ladies, try not to get pregnant. That segment is next.
Presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Your first bet is on Caesars. Bet up to $1,250. And if you don't win, you'll get it back as a free bet. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and over.
I couldn't love this game more. Bet big money on Kansas State.
It's going to be close, but it's going to be more than 3.5. TCU, give me the Horned Frogs here.
Next week, the loser in this segment, and some for the audience probably too, no shirt under their jacket for at least one segment.
I'm in.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
Next
in.
week.
Just this game, right? TCU and Kansas State, because we're on the opposite side of Purdue and Wisconsin,
yes, TCU, Kansas State, +3.5 for me, -3.5. That's worth showing up
Shake on
for.
it. Let's go. Have you ever won a bet, but then you feel like you lost the bet? Because that's the position that I'm in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Let's welcome Scott Long, sans his shirt, plus blazer, though, because he's classy.
Do you notice that Danielle didn't show up this week out of the show? Here we are. Oh, do I feel good about it?
You look like you're in some sort of cover band for like the Backstreet Boys or something. Like Scott Long will be appearing at a casino this weekend wearing this outfit, performing I Want It That Way.
Yeah, maybe at like a senior citizen's home, though. Thank you, Hammer. That's made me feel a little better. I don't know where we're looking. Are we looking over here? Okay.
Don't
now
look
we're
directly
looking over
into
here.
the chest. That's what you do. Don't look directly into the chest.
Who am I even picking? It's hard to even think. Oh my God! This seems perfect for this. I mean, when you think of a guy walking around the streets of a college town without a shirt on, you think of Akron, Ohio, the home of Firestone Tires and LeBron James. I bet LeBron kicks it at the club like this. Hey, people, here I am, and don't worry, I got gaffer tape on.
Oh, come on!
Go.
Come on!
Don't worry, I am covered by the Areola Insurance. Kids, sorry, Mom and Dad, everybody knows. Miami of Ohio will cover the game. Why? Because Akron never covers at home as a dog. They're brought the worst team in the
Clearly, Scott Long covers. Did you see that? Good Lord.
I'd go all out. I feel like everything is mixed up. We don't even look. Go ahead, Hammer. What's your split?
I got to be honest. I lost a bet because I had $5 that the first person on Wish TV to take their shirt off would be Randy Ollis.
Yeah.
And here you are up here, sans shirt plus the blazer. It looks like the old Rico Suave video from Gerardo. Remember that?
I can't do it.
Rico Suave.
That's all we can say.
All right, please do not stare directly into the chest unless you're wearing sunglasses. Here's a game that I'm going to look the Cashman in the face. I've never been more uncomfortable in my life. I'm going to look the Cashman in his face and say, you're the professional, you're the wise guy, but you're going down. I've beaten the Cashman before, and he's going down again. You're going to put your hard-earned money on UConn? I know Boston College stinks. They've had a bad year. Their quarterback has underachieved. But 8, come on now. I like Jim Mora Jr. UConn's going to get better, but it's not going to be today. Boston College, lay the 8. They're going to win, and I'm going to own the Cashman next week.
I got to say, this feels very freeing. This might be my new thing.
Again, they don't make booze strong enough for what I have to deal with on this show.
No.
We're going to give you our picks in a recap next. Producer Peter's going to come with his picks, and maybe, just maybe, we can talk Scott into putting a shirt back on. Don't go anywhere. We told you, anything can happen on this show, baby.
It just did.
All Indiana bets right here on Wish TV.
I got a shirt on.
Thank God.
Yeah.
If you missed any of the show, consider yourself lucky. But Scott, you've got picks lined up. What do you got?
I hope I consider myself lucky on these. 4-1 last week. Let's keep it going. Iowa, it's obvious, it's offense.
Iowa.
California, plus 17. Texas A&M, plus 2. Yes, Texas A&M over Mississippi. Nebraska, I know it doesn't seem right against Illinois. It's right. Miami of Ohio, the streets of Akron will be crying.
All right, so I'm looking at the biggest game of the day, Penn State in Happy Valley. I want the points. I think it's going to be one of those games where Ohio State wins, but Penn State covers. I got the Mountaineers. We got the over in the Degenerate Special today, Middle Tennessee and UTEP. Volunteers, first half. They always get out to a great start. And then I'm going against the Cashman. I am going to lay the points with Boston College against UConn. Producer Peter, you have got some picks for us. What are you looking at?
Well, Scott, I was going to join you on the shirtless thing, but first of all, you put your shirt back on, which I'm a little disappointed in. And when I said back here in the control room that I was thinking about taking my shirt off, Director Lindsay said, and I quote, "Please, for the love of God, don't." So we kept the shirt on, but I thought it was a good look, honestly. And the ratings boost we just got from the local soccer moms here in the Indianapolis market, gonna be totally worth it moving forward. So I thank you for that. Temple plus 14.5. Listen, who are we? Who is anybody to bet against the city of Philadelphia right now? The Philadelphia Phillies, the Philadelphia Eagles, and yes, the Temple Owls. The Temple Owls aren't going to win this game, but they're playing Navy. They don't need to win this game because they're getting 14.5 points. Who is Navy? I love the Navy. Thank you, everyone out there, for your service. My grandfather was in the Navy, but 14.5 for Navy, 120th in the country in yards per play on offense. Same thing on defense. I'll take Temple in a low-scoring game plus the 14.5. And then the under in Ohio State, Penn State. Hammer, you mentioned it earlier. Penn State, best secondary in the country. I don't think it's even close. They got 2 first-round picks, including Joey Porter's kid. Ohio State has not seen a defense this good. And Ohio State's defense on the other side is much improved from last year. That much we know. We'll go under 60.5. And Scott, again, I thank you for the pay raise. You just got all of us because our ratings just went up, baby.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, do you see this, Hammer? We're next up with Hot Box Pizza.
Oh, man, I love Hot Box Pizza. And we are ready to go. We have got your tailgate food ready. We're going to talk about things you can get for the big game with Hot Box in the house next on All Indiana Bets. First of all, I feel like I owe Samantha from Hot Box an apology. When she walked in the studio, Scott Long was shirtless. That's the first thing she saw with All Indiana Bets. That was her first impression, was a shirtless Scott Long in the studio.
I feel like Samantha is now my official stalker. So thank you for being part of it. And I am super excited. When they told me Hot Box Pizza is happening, I was excited to be here. Woo! Here we go. Let's begin with the breadsticks, can we?
Yeah.
Are there
good
better
place to start.
breadsticks in the world?
Name a place. I can't think of one.
Now, I know there's some Colts deal you guys got going on with breadsticks. So we're a football show. You're the what of the Colts?
We are the official pizza of the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, that's a big deal. The official pizza of the Colts right there. Now, last time I checked, they play a late afternoon game tomorrow. Kick off a little bit after 4. So if somebody wants to get, I don't know, a great tailgate spread of Hot Box, they can do that. You guys got any specials?
We do have some specials. If you visit our Instagram, you can see our pie of the week. We always have one pizza that is 50% off all week long.
What is the pie of the week? Because I'm telling you, I'm a little cheap. I love the pie of the week.
Right.
The pie of the week this week is the Popeye, spinach, bacon, ricotta cheese.
Is that this one?
No,
Nope,
it's not.
it's
Which
under
one do we got here?
They hit it.
I hit it.
Well, don't be holding off.
No, this is
Get
like,
that bad boy out. Let's go.
This is one of my 2 favorites.
I want some. Can I get some here?
Absolutely.
Explain what is in the Popeye, because it's like a perfect pizza.
Yeah,
Look
so
at this.
red base, ricotta
Oh,
cheese,
man.
bacon, red onions, spinach. It's unbelievable.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Nice. Have you ever had that, Hammer? Because I get this all the time. This is my favorite hot box.
To go along with the Evan Williams and the Hot Box, you have spinach on here. So now I feel like I'm a health nut.
Yeah. Healthy option for sure.
How do you think Popeye looks so good with that shirt?
This is true. Prepping for no
look
shirt.
At that. Look at that. You could have that for your tailgate experience.
Oh, so good.
So I got a mouthful of Hot Box here. Tell us what more we can do here, Samantha. What do we got?
If you want wings on a pizza, we've got our hot chicks. So buffalo sauce, chicken, jalapeno, spice up your party.
Ooh, I love the hot stuff.
Yeah,
I love the hot
spicy,
stuff.
spicy. Good choice there. And then if you're a meat lover, we've got our Porky the Pie. All of the pork products you can think of: pepperoni, sausage, ham, bacon.
Scott, I saw you shirtless. You might like the porky.
You know, I heard your mouth was hot, and what works better than tequila? And we mentioned it, and Samantha's like, yeah, I'm part of Hot
Yeah.
Box. Of course I'm going to do shots.
Right.
Oh,
Tequila.
yeah.
Don't you
do
want
it
to
right
get the
now.
food from somebody who wants to tailgate with you?
How did you get part of Hot Box? How did it start? Was it at like a bar and a tequila contest or something? How did you get your job?
Yeah, they found me drinking on the streets of Broderpool, and they said, you know what, you might be a good fit. Why don't you come hang out with us?
Are you from Indianapolis?
I am from Indianapolis. I was a Pike High School graduate.
Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
So
And you got a couple different locations, right?
Yeah, 22 locations
Really?
in central Indiana. Yeah, so you can find us on almost all of the college campuses.
Wow.
Broderpool downtown for your late night needs.
And again, the best breadsticks in the game.
In the game.
Okay, so you mentioned this one. You got a lot of them here.
I do, yeah.
So what is that?
This one is the heavy veggie. So
We
if
got 60
you're
seconds left here.
passing the meat, you can get that.
That's veggie. We don't do that on this show, but I'm sure there's other people at
What's
other
this
shows.
dessert thing down here?
There
I
are
see a cookie.
desserts
Oh
down
my
there.
gosh,
It's a
bring that on.
cookie, chocolate
pick it
chip
up.
cookie. Yeah, pick it up.
Look at that.
Just eat the whole thing.
Oh, man. So you got great tailgate food. You got options, the best breadsticks, a cookie, and she'll drink tequila shots. This is your tailgate meal. Hot box pizza. When you stop by, tell them Samantha.
So good. And there's always a bonus. What's the story behind
The
it?
Tootsie Roll is a little treat in every box, and when they're a little warm, just perfect.
I love those. I appreciate it.
This is great. Samantha, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
This is super underrated, this cookie.
We're going to eat. So we'll talk to you tomorrow from noon to 1 right here on Wish TV. for all of the
Halloween
NFL.
show.
Halloween show tomorrow. Good luck, everybody. Win a lot of money.